Poschetti!
So, Phil Heath made it official. He will compete at the 2020 Mr. Olympia. Changed to December this year, obviously, because of the coronavirus from September. And the location's going to be different. Planet Hollywood. That was already going to happen either way. Great move by the Olympia people to move it to December, and I'm looking forward to checking out the new location and the new location of the expo, the Sands Convention Center. But Phil Heath has not competed since he lost the 2018 show to Sean Roden in what many felt was a very close call, as did I, but I did feel that Sean did look better than Phil that night. Phil Heath has undergone like hernia surgeries and things like that. He has not competed since then, and he is getting older, but Phil Heath has an amazing physique, great genetics, so I have no doubt in my mind that Phil Heath will be on that stage looking phenomenal. The problem is, he pissed a lot of people off last time with what he said after the Olympia, and it's not even from the morning after. If you see the videos of him being interviewed the morning after, he seemed to be like in a all right mood and congratulations to Sean Roden type of thing. But then like a week later, Generation Iron interviewed him, and he was very surly, and he was knocking the judges and the IFBB officials, that nobody came up to me and talked to me and tell me why I lost. And he seemed to be that same guy that everybody fucking didn't like after it looked like he was going to show a little sportsmanship before that. So he did piss a lot of people off. Now, a lot of his anger was pointed towards AMI, because he was saying that in the promos before the Olympia, all over, even in the airport in Vegas, there wasn't even any pictures of him. It was almost like who's going to beat Phil kind of thing, more than Phil. They were showing like Ramy and stuff like that. So he was a little jerked off with that. Plus the People's Champion thing, he felt that was another slap in his face. And I kind of agree with them on both of those points. I think AMI was just done with this fucking guy. They had money problems. They dropped him. I don't think they dropped him because they didn't like him. I think they dropped him for financial purposes. And I'm glad they ended up selling it, and I'm glad that Jake Wood of Wings of Strength owns it and has Dan Solomon doing stuff with him. Both of those guys were perfect to run the biggest show in bodybuilding. So I don't think that the grudge will be held against Phil by the ownership, or like Dan, who's promoting the whole thing and everything behind it. But I still think a lot of people that he was talking about, they're still in the fucking game. He wasn't just talking about David Pecker, mind you, and you can figure out who I'm referring to with the powers that be in the IFBB. So Phil Heath he never kind of like walked that back at all, and I'll give him credit for that too. If you're pissed and you got balls, say something, but don't expect it to gonna work in your favor either. Sometimes if you're gonna say fuck them, they're going to say fuck you, and he's going to have to live with that now. I think that James Flex Lewis is going to win the show regardless of who else looks phenomenal. I think Flex Lewis having that time off after being a 212 winner for so many years, he's going to come in really fucking solid in this fucking show, and I think the extra months are going to be helpful more to him than it would have been maybe like a guy like Brandon Curry that may have been timing his off season differently from September to September. You gotta remember, Flex hasn't competed since 18 when he won the 212. I think it was the 6th or whatever. And then he made the switch to the open class and took time off to put on body weight. That's a little tidbit that not many people are thinking or talking about, but I believe it's very important. So I don't even think if Phil he's going to look better than Flex Lewis. But let's just say Phil looked better or just as good as Flex Lewis, he's still not going to get the nod, because they're going to just be like, fuck this guy. The sport was kind of better off without him, arguing with Louis Marco on the fucking stream and all. I mean, it was so fucking nonsense. So Phil Heath was not a very well-liked Mr. Olympia. Amazing talent, but he had his 7 in a row. Even if he wins an 8th, there won't be 8 in a row. People still say, well, he's not as good as Haney and Coleman, and I agree. But I don't even think he was as good as those guys if he did win 8 in a row, if he won the year Roden won. So Phil, I'm glad he's coming back because I think it's a great contest with a guy like Phil Heath. There's many former Mr. Olympias that you can have on the stage, makes it a great, much better show and a great fucking night. And you always got to worry about that guy because if he was able to win, especially as many times as Phil has, you got guys like Dexter that have a win under their belt that he'll be on the stage saying it's his last show of his career. So it should be a great show. It's going to be an even better show with Heath there. I just don't think it's going to be to his advantage. I don't think he's not going to get the win, and he'll probably wrap it up after that. But this Muscle Sport Minute is being brought to you by T. Michael Gym Apparel. You guys remember T. Michael? I just did an Instagram live wearing this, and some of the older fucking guys like myself were like, holy shit, T. Michael. Like Big Frank said that. He's younger than me, but he still remembers T. Michael. So they're still around. They never went anywhere. And you can see their ad in the inside front cover. My buddy Joe Cavelli has top real estate, prime real estate, right here. T. Michael with an EHL.com. Check out all of their fucking great summer shirt. And we will see you on the next segment.